Hey, what's going on guys? Cholo Tolentino here and welcome back to where we take awesome out of the box. Now today we're going to be taking a look at Vivo's new entry-level smartphone, the Vivo Y20i. So now we're going to quickly unbox the Vivo Y20i. Let's open that up. In here we have a free clear jelly case. Alright, and the SIM ejector pin, documentation, keep that, you gotta keep that. We also have, of course, the phone. Take a look at that later. Under this, we have the charging brick and the micro USB cable. That's right, micro USB, not USB-C type. Now let's take a look at the phone. Alright, so I really like the finish of the back plating for this phone. Again, we have a little bit of a holographic sheen or design on the back. Now let's take a look at that screen now that it's on. Pretty smooth. We also have a fingerprint scanner here. Doubles as the power button. And let's lock the phone and unlock it with my fingerprint. There we go. Lock and unlock. Yeah, let's take a look at the phone. Vivo is tagged as the top-selling smartphone brand in the Philippines for Q2 2020, and it's for a good reason. The brand's sales mostly comprise of its entry-level offerings from the Y series. The latest model for the Y series is the Y20i. Changes from last year's Y11 include a bigger display, cleaner back panel designed with a relocated fingerprint scanner, and a better set of internals led by a Snapdragon 460 processor. For the pros, we got incredible battery life, a Snapdragon 460, a big improvement over the Snapdragon 450 or 439, and a solid back panel that you'll easily mistake for glass. For the cons, we are stuck with micro USB and 10-watt charging. Also, we have terrible camera performance in low light. Vivo changed its packaging for the entry-level Y series, this time settling for a simpler white and blue box with both the Vivo and Y20i branding boldly written in front. I definitely like where they went with this. Like the Y11, the Y20i comes with an all-plastic build, with the frame having a non-slippery finish and the back panel having the same familiar glossy finish. Compared to the Y11, the Y20i has a more solid back panel that we mistook for glass, until we confirmed it was actually polycarbonate, according to Vivo's spec sheet. Now the back can attract some fingerprints, but with its design, it's not really that visible. At first glance, the Y20i looks like a V19 Neo, until you notice that the rectangle-shaped camera module houses two cameras and an LED flash. Personally, I really like how the camera module looks. With the Y20i having a cleaner-looking back panel, Vivo moved the fingerprint scanner to the side, which doubles as the power button. This is joined by the volume controls, while the SIM card tray is found on the other side. At the bottom, you have the headphone jack, micro USB port, loudspeaker, and microphone. I was pretty satisfied with the performance of the fingerprint scanner. By now, you would probably be complaining about the micro USB port, but given the intended audience for the Y20i, the use of a micro USB should not be that big of a deal. While it has the same dewdrop notch and the same 8-megapixel selfie snapper found on the Y11, the Y20i gets a bigger display at 6.51 inches. You still get the same HD Plus resolution, so text and other graphics are not as sharp as compared to a full HD Plus panel. The HD Plus resolution is something you'd expect from a budget phone, though Vivo makes up for it by using a better IPS panel. Colors are more vibrant compared to the competition, and its maximum brightness is good enough for using the Y20i in direct sunlight. Now for the price you'd be paying for, I was pretty contented with what I saw. Despite having a fancier rear camera module that looks similar to the V19 Neo, the Y20i snappers are similar to the Y11. We have a 13-megapixel f2.2 main camera and a 2-megapixel f2.4 depth sensor. While the camera hardware remains unchanged, the Y20i's Adreno 610 GPU gives it more imaging muscle compared to the Adreno 505 used on the Y11. Here are some sample photos. The improved post-processing performance is evident when shooting with a decent amount of available light. Dynamic range is much better, and the colors pop a little bit more, though the Y20i has a tendency of boosting the saturation too much when AI is activated. Without the proper night mode feature, photos shot in low light suffer from loss of detail and dull colors. We hope that Vivo rolls out an update to include a dedicated night mode for the Y20i to maximize its hardware. Aside from having more RAM and internal storage at 4GB and 64GB respectively, the Y20i rocks a Snapdragon 460 processor, the logical successor of 2017 Snapdragon 450. Compared to the Y11 Snapdragon 439 processor, the Y20i Snapdragon 460 performed almost twice as good in 3D Mark. Despite the Snapdragon 439 having higher clock cores, the Snapdragon 460's Cryo 240 cores proved to deliver more muscle even at lower clock speeds. When it comes to games, the Snapdragon 460 performed fairly well on most graphics-heavy games, save for Asphalt 9. Based on data obtained from Gamebench, the Y20i can do more than 20 FPS for games like NBA 2K20, PUBG Mobile, and Call of Duty Mobile, all at the highest possible settings, which is arguably the bare minimum for suitable gameplay. Fans of Asphalt 9 should not consider the Y20i, as the Adreno 610 GPU, the same GPU found on the Snapdragon 665, struggles to deliver decent frame rates for the popular racing game. Fans of MOBA games like Marvel's Super War need not to worry, as the Y20i managed to deliver over 50 FPS with generally good frame rate stability. Just like with the recently launched X50 and X50 Pro, the Y20i comes with FunTouch OS 10.5, which is a toned-down version of the previous iterations. There are a couple of annoying notifications out of the box, the majority of them coming from the Vivo web browser and App Store. Now luckily, you can easily disable them through the settings menu. Like the Y11, the Y20i excels very well when it comes to battery life. The combination of a large 5000 mAh battery, HD Plus display, and power-efficient processor helped the Y20i last for 20.5 hours on our battery loop test. This is very impressive for a 2020 budget smartphone. A trade-off for the stellar battery life is the slow charging speeds. Aside from using an ancient micro USB port, you are limited to 10-watt charging. Topping up the battery from 0 to 100 will take a little bit over 4 hours. Vivo's entry-level line is the brand's biggest market share for its overall sales, and the Y20i gives justice in filling the shoes of last year's Y11. Despite looking like a modernized version of its predecessor, the Snapdragon 460 processor gives the Y20i a much-needed performance boost while maintaining stellar battery life. Even with the Y20i's good points, Vivo's latest entry-level smartphone will face fierce competition from the likes of Xiaomi and Realme. Now please don't forget to check out the full review on unbox.ph, and also please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed that video. Hit the notification icon if you want to get them updates when we drop them videos. Once again, I am Cholo Tolentino, and I'll see you guys in the next one.